Turn off the lights in a room you know perfectly well, and something strange happens. The same hallway you walked through 100 times today suddenly feels wrong. Your heart picks up, your eyes strain. Some animal part of you wants to get out fast. And if you've ever run up a dark staircase, sure something was right behind you. You know that feeling is almost impossible to switch off. Here's the thing nobody tells you. You are not scared of the dark. Darkness is just missing light. It can't hurt you. You're scared of what the dark might be hiding. And that fear is not silly, or childish, or broken. It's one of the smartest things your body still does. It kept your ancestors alive for 1,000,000 years. And tonight, it's still running, even though the monster is almost certainly gone. What makes this so weird is that you know better. You can stand in your own dark bedroom and tell yourself out loud, "There is nothing here. I checked. I am completely safe." And your body just ignores you. The dread stays. Your ears keep straining for a sound that isn't coming. That's bizarre if you think about it. You can reason your way out of almost anything. You can talk yourself into a scary movie, a job interview, a flight. But you cannot talk yourself calm in the dark. The fear sits underneath your thoughts, where words can't reach it. That's the first clue. A fear this stubborn, this deaf to logic, isn't a bad habit you picked up. It's older than your thoughts. To find where it comes from, you have to go back to a time when the dark really was trying to kill you. Picture yourself as an early human, hundreds of thousands of years ago, as the sun goes down. You are not the scariest thing out here, not even close. You're slow, you have no claws, no fangs, no armor. And your eyes, which work beautifully in daylight, are nearly useless once the light fades. You can barely see your own hands, but the things that hunt you can see just fine. Big cats, hyenas, packs of things with night-tuned eyes and quiet feet. To them, the dark isn't frightening. The dark is when they go to work. And you, half-blind and soft, are on the menu. And here's the cruel part. Those hunters didn't just see a little better. Their eyes were built for the night, lined with a kind of mirror that bounces moonlight back through them. It's the reason an animal's eyes flash gold in your headlights. To a hunting cat, your pitch-black yard is lit up like a soft evening. You were sitting in a darkness that, to the thing watching you, wasn't even dark. So every night, your world flipped. By day, you could spot danger coming. By night, you were prey, sitting in the black, listening. The only smart move was to stay close to the fire, freeze at strange sounds, and feel a deep, nagging unease about the darkness beyond the light. Now, here's where it gets built into you. The humans who felt that fear behaved differently. They didn't wander into the black to investigate a noise. They stayed put. They survived the night more often, and they had more children who inherited that same wiring. The fearless ones, the ones who shrugged and strolled into the dark, they tended not to come back. Stretch that over thousands of generations, and you don't just get a habit. You get a built-in alarm system. Psychologists Arne Ehrman and Susan Meinke describe this as an evolved fear module in the brain. It has a few unsettling features. First, it's tuned to ancient dangers, darkness, snakes, heights, more than modern ones. That's why a dark basement spikes your pulse, but a car, which is far more likely to kill you, doesn't. Second, it's automatic. It fires before you've finished a single thought. And third, this is the key. It's almost completely deaf to reason. It runs on its own circuit, deep in a part of the brain called the amygdala, and your calm, logical mind simply doesn't have the keys to shut it off. That's why I know I'm safe does nothing. The part of you that's scared isn't listening to the part of you that knows. And think about what darkness actually takes from you. Humans are creatures of sight. We trust our eyes more than any other sense. Sight is how you confirm the room is empty, that nothing moved, that you really are alone. Darkness doesn't add a threat to the room. It removes your ability to rule one out. And a brain that cannot prove it's safe will always, every time, assume that it isn't. And it goes further. In one study, Researchers found that simply turning out the lights made people physically flinch harder at sudden sounds. Not because they were paying more attention. Darkness itself cranks the body's startle system up, priming you to jump. Your fear isn't imagining a threat, it's bracing for one. There's a simple logic behind why this system is so jumpy. Think of it like a smoke detector. A smoke detector that screams at burnt toast is annoying, but harmless. A smoke detector that stays quiet during a real fire gets you killed. Evolution made the same trade. For your ancestors, 1,000 false alarms in the dark cost nothing but a racing heart. Missing the one real predator cost everything. So your brain was built to overreact, to treat every dark room as guilty until proven safe. Being wrong and scared was survivable. Being wrong and calm was not. Once you see this, the fear stops being embarrassing and starts making perfect sense. The dark hallway that feels longer at night. Your brain has lost its main tool, sight, and is filling the empty space with the worst possibilities, exactly as it should have when something might really be there. The need to yank your feet up onto the bed, away from the dark floor. Ancient, whatever's under there can't reach what isn't hanging over the edge. The sprint up the basement stairs with the light off, heart pounding, certain you're being chased. That's the prey animal escape reflex, firing in a carpeted house in the year 2026. Or that moment alone in a dark room when you suddenly feel certain that someone is standing behind you, and you have to turn and look, even though the door is locked and you know, no one is there. And no one ever is. But your brain would rather make you check 1,000 empty rooms than let you miss the one that isn't. And it explains kids too. A child's fear of the dark peaks around age 3 or 4, right when their imagination explodes, but their judgment hasn't caught up. They can picture a monster vividly, but can't yet prove it isn't real. So the dark closet becomes a doorway to anything. It's the same machinery you have. They just don't have the filter yet. It even explains the small rituals. Checking under the bed or behind the shower curtain before you can relax. You're clearing the blind spots a predator could use, the exact spots your brain can't see into. And the reason a cracked door or a small nightlight helps so much isn't really about the light itself. It's that a little light hands your eyes their job back. Give the security guard something to see, and he finally stands down. Here's something you can test tonight. Lie in a dark room and notice your ears. You'll catch yourself listening, really listening, to tiny sounds you'd never notice with the lights on. That's not anxiety. That's a several 100,000-year-old security guard clocking in. So the title was right. You are scared of the dark, and you are absolutely right to be. Not because there's a monster in your hallway tonight. There almost certainly isn't. But because you are carrying the instincts of everyone who came before you, and every single one of them survived the night by respecting the dark. Your fear is their memory. It's the reason any of them lived long enough to pass it down to you. The world got safe so recently that your body hasn't gotten the message yet. The fire is electric now. The predators are gone. But the guard is still at his post, still scanning the black, still ready to run. So the next time the lights go out and that old unease creeps up your spine, don't be embarrassed by it. Give it a small, quiet nod. It's the oldest part of you, doing the only job it has ever known, keeping you alive until morning.